welcome to this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Huntington on March 3rd, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order, beginning with a roll call.
Mayor Strick.
Present.
Daniel Albertson.
Present.
Megan Bondry.
Present.
Anthony Lesnickia.
Present.
Thank you. Having established a quorum for the conducting of city business, we'll move along to consideration of the minutes from the previous meeting. Is there a motion to bring the February 18th, 2025 minutes to the floor for consideration and adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the minutes. Not seeing or hearing anything further, we'll call the motion. Call the question in favor of the motion. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Carries. Moving along under old business. First item is the 2025 Street and Alley Paving Bid Award. Director Kutchers.
Yes, thank you. At the last meeting, we opened up two bids for the 2025 street and alley paving. After reviewing both of the bids we received, checking all the documents, making sure the contractors turned in everything, it would be my recommendation to award the contract to E&B Paving for a total amount of $909,026.20. And then authorize the mayor to sign the agreement so that I can submit the paperwork to NDOT.
Third, a motion to act on the recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation. Hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization of the recommendation. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item, Director Kutchers, Market Street Sewer Project Change Order Number 1.
Yes, we have a change order today, change order number 1 for the Market Street Interceptor Sewer Project. It's a project going on right outside the city building here. This change order incorporates modifications that had to be made to a storm sewer structure to work around some existing underground utilities, as well as a frac tank to hold groundwater that was removed out of the trench until we had it tested to make sure it was okay to release into the sewer system. The total change order for this is $5,714.48, and it would be my recommendation that the board authorize the mayor to sign change order number 1.
Is there a motion to authorize that recommendation and act on it?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. What was that figure again, Director Kutchers?
$5,714.48.
Further discussion and consideration of the motion to act on the recommendation to authorize change order number 1.
Total cost of that project?
That project with all of the large diameter sanitary sewer or sewer interceptor and the complete roadway reconstruction, because that does incorporate a full roadway reconstruction, is $2,672,167.
Thank you.
Further discussion or consideration of the change order? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorizing change order number 1. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. First item under new business is a special event application for Heritage Days 2025, as well as for music in the city over the course of the summer. Is there a motion to open discussion and hear the application?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. With us today, we've got Steve Kimmel. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. Steve Kimmel, Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce of Huntington County. Again, I'm here to seek your approval for Heritage Days 2025 and also for music in the city. As far as Heritage Days is concerned, this is my 15th year of doing this, long 15 years. But I have the special applications already filled out with the city. Certificate of liability, all the forms for the city and the state have been filed. The insurance certificate's been there, and also the check for $100. And I do not want to activate the DORA for this particular event. I will be working with the city police, and I'll be working with the street department, the EMA, and Max Kaler and the disaster team for road closures during that particular time. And there is a spreadsheet there of all the street closings during the Heritage Days time that's kind of all over the place. So if you want to look at that, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. But I'm just seeking your approval to bring Heritage Days again to Huntington County once more.
Steve, what are the dates again for 2025?
The Heritage Days will be June 11th through June 15th. It'll be a Wednesday through Sunday, but the streets will start getting closed down on Monday, on the 9th.
And then the organizers for Jeff Fest and the Brat Tent, which of course are both associated with Heritage Days, have indicated their interest in activating the door for that.
Yes.
I assume they've been in communication with
They
you
will,
about that.
yeah, and I've already talked, right now, the Brat Tent is not a for sure thing. By 90% chance it's going to happen. Jeff Fest wants to activate Dora, so I told them they would need to come down and get permission, seek permission from the Board of Works.
Yep. Further question or discussion?
Are the road closings changing?
No, they're the very same thing as always. The trucks coming from the south heading north will go out the bypass only on Saturday morning between about 8 and noon, just during parade time. And then the trucks coming from the north going south will either go out Broadway. If they're doing business in town, they'll come straight through town and go down Poplar Street. So none of the roads have been changed over the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And I would like to thank Adam Cutchers for his help with filing the permits with NDOT. Like every year, NDOT's applications change a bit, and he's pretty quick at it, so makes it a whole lot easier for me, yes. Oh, yes, yeah, NDOT's making it easier every year, yes.
And speaking of that, then, Director Cutchers, both the project out here on Market Street as well as long-term control plan as it intersects with Jefferson Street, what's the timeline look like as it interacts with Heritage Days?
Yes, so the Market Street Interceptor project out here, we had that written in the contract, and the contractors are on schedule to have this one done and resurfaced before Heritage Days. And then the long-term control plan, those contractors will not be closing Jefferson Street for that crossing of Jefferson Street till after Heritage Days.
Music to your ears, right? Okay. And then, do we have this as a joint application between Music in the City and the Heritage Days, or is it two separate? All right, okay. So then, is there a motion to authorize the special events request for Heritage Days 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, further discussion and consideration. We'll call the question in favor of approval of Heritage Days 2025 as presented. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Music in the City. We're going to be skipping June this year. We typically do June, July, August, and September. The second week of June will be Heritage Days, so we're looking at maybe supplying the band for Brat Tent. We're not really sure what's happening there, but right now we'd like to close the street between Warren and it would be the east side of Jefferson Street, or close Franklin from Warren to the east side of Jefferson. So people can still go down Jefferson, down through the center of town. It's just going to be that one block that would be closed off. That would be on July 12th, August 9th, and September 13th, just those 3 times. And we are not activating Dora at that time. And so we're just looking at permission again to shut the street, Franklin Street, from Warren to the east side of Jefferson on those 3 particular dates.
Is there a motion to authorize Music in the City as it's been presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, further discussion and consideration.
What were the August and September dates again, please?
It is August 9th, September 13th.
Thank you.
Not hearing any further discussion or questions, we'll call the motion in favor of approval of the application. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on
Bring
your
on
ribbon
summer
cutting
now,
today,
bring
too.
on that warm weather.
Yep. Congratulations on your ribbon cutting today, and
Thank you for being there, too. I
we got a
appreciate
couple
it.
more that are
Had
just
a nice turnout.
open or getting close to it, too, so,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of good small businesses on the way. It's great.
we're heading that way. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, 2025 nuisance mowing bid opening. Director Crutchers.
Yes, it is that time of year again to open our, find a contractor for mowing or handling the vegetation and nuisance mowing. Looks like I have received 3 bids for that, so we'll go ahead and open those. These are a price per mow, or essentially a price per mow for each lot, individual lot that gets cited by the ordinance officers. The first one I have is Triscape Lawn Maintenance, and their price is $50 per mow. The next one I have is A&S Property Maintenance. Their price is $52.50 per. And the last one is Sands Outdoor Services. And his price is $45 per. At this time, it would be my recommendation that the board take these under advisement. We will take these back and review them, and then report back at the next Board of Works meeting with a recommendation on award.
Is there a motion to act on the recommendation to take the bids under advisement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation to take the bids under advisement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Director Crutchers, park mowing bid openings for 2025 and 2026.
Yes, this is we typically do the park, utilities, and right-of-way mowing as 2-year contracts. It appears this includes several city parks. Not all of them, the Parks Department does mow some of them, so this is the larger ones like Memorial Park and Yoma Park. I have several bids for that. The first one is from A Cleaner Place LLC. This being a 2-year agreement, the 2-year price is with and working with the Parks Department, we included Elmwood Park as an alternate this year. Depending on the prices, they may wish to mow that themselves. So the 2-year with the mandatory alternate is $171,662.40. It's 171,662.40. Next one is A&S Property Maintenance. Their 2-year price with the alternate is $144,000. The next one is from Ground Control. Their 2-year price is $120,840. And then the last one is from Triscape Lawn Maintenance. Their 2-year price is $124,500. Again, my recommendation on these would be to take these under advisement. We will review the bids and report back at the next meeting.
Is there a motion to follow the recommendation to take the bids under advisement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation. Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of taking the bids under advisement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Director Crutchers, City Utilities mowing bid opening for 25 and 26.
Yes, again, this is a 2-year contract for city utilities mowing. This includes the sewer plant, the North Water plant, the South Water plant, a couple of our water towers, lift stations, and well sites. First bid is from A Cleaner Place LLC. Their 2-year price is $87,117.78. The next bid is from Sands Outdoor Services. Their 2-year price is $62,100. The next one is from A&S Property Maintenance. Their 2-year price is $62,280. And I have one here from Kindler Landscaping. Their 2-year price is $223,998.
Repeat that figure.
$223,998. The next one's from Ground Control. Their price is $65,150. And the last one from Triscape Lawn Maintenance, $64,350. My recommendation would be to take these under advisement. We will review all of these and report back.
Is there a motion to follow the recommendation to take the bids under advisement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to take the bids under advisement. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation. On hearing any this time, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation to take the bids under advisement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Director Crutchers, US 24 right-of-way bid openings, 25 and 26.
Yes, the last in the line of bids to open for mowing. This includes the US 24 right-of-way from Meridian Road around through the city to 200 North over by the industrial park. This includes basically all of the right-of-way, including the cloverleaf areas, the interchanges at State Road 9 and 24, as well as Jefferson Street and US 24. 2-year agreement. Again, the first one I have is from Kindler Landscaping. 2-year price is $43,766.80. 43766.80. The next one is from Ground Control. It's for $24,000. And the last one is from Triscape Lawn Maintenance, $34,600. Again, I would recommend that we take these under advisement, and we will report back at the next meeting.
Is there a motion to act on the recommendation to take the bids under advisement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation? Not hearing any this time, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation to take the bids under advisement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is for introduction only of Board and Public Works and Safety Resolutions 2025-4, -5, and -6. Direct our attention over to Mr. Halverstad on behalf of his partner, Mr. Hartberg, to introduce the respective resolutions.
Okay, Resolution 2025-4 is a resolution to amend the schedule of administrative costs. So these are the administrative fees that Christie and her staff put on when they're assessing liens for mowing violations or green sticker program violations. The clerk's office does all the mailings. So they've experienced a cost increase through postage, and then also for the properties requiring title search reports, there's also been a cost increase on that. So it would convert into a three-tiered price structure, where the flat fees before were $100 or $200 depending on the parties to be noticed. So if it is just a code violation problem, that price would go up $25, and then the other price points would jump to $200 and $250 depending on the number of parties to be noticed. That would be for the administrative process handled by the clerk treasurer's office when assessing lien for mowing or code violation. So that's that one. The dollar amounts that are being changed were last established in July of 2017. Resolution 2025-5 would amend the schedule for abatement costs regarding certain nuisances. So these are going to be Mr. Bischoff's department when they do cleanup using the grabber truck, large items left at the curb outside of the normal collection day. So couches, TV stands, have you. Large items, the ordinance officer puts a green sticker on it. It has a 24-hour time to be removed. If it's not removed, they call the street department and it gets removed. The fee schedule is related to landfill tipping fees and truck time to haul a load from here to the Claypool facility where the city dumps. They've experienced cost increases at the landfill facility, and they've also had some special fees added by the landfill facility for holding costs and other things. So this would kind of get the city back in line with recovering more of its costs. It's still a cost of a clean city type of an initiative, but make us whole, closer to whole on those items. The schedule of fees that the city is currently operating on, excuse me, were established in April of 2019. So it's been a while. The last one, Resolution 2025-6, would amend the average processing expense for an order of enforcement for unsafe buildings. So these are the properties that SHAD brings to you. They go through the demolition process. At the end, we bill the property owner for the demolition costs, and also we get to add an administrative fee to help recoup SHAD's time, recording costs at the courthouse for all the orders throughout the process. There's title search fee, and then all the mailings throughout the process. So SHAD, I'm sure at the next meeting will have his itemized report, kind of how he came up with the number. I believe the current fee is $1,700, a flat amount. That was established in September of 2019. Proposed to increase it. I think that was it $2,200 even is the current amount based on SHAD tracking his work on reported unsafe building matters over the recent past, and the actual cost incurred and his time and the title search and all those. In 2017 and 2019, when we established these fees, we introduced the resolution and we had a public hearing at the next Board of Works meeting. So introducing these today, Christie's already done the work of sending notice to the newspaper to schedule a public hearing, but that's an official act for you guys to take this public hearing for March 17th at 30. That's a step for you. And then you'll be able to hear from each of the affected departments after that public hearing and take action.
Any questions from board members? Further discussion?
You may have said this, but I didn't catch it.
Sure.
When was the 2025-6 last updated?
September of 2019.
Thank you.
And again, benefit of the board members, just to reiterate Mr. Halverstad's point that this is based on a review of the actual costs involved with these legal procedures, so that we're able to conduct our business in a responsible manner. And so it's driven by increases in postage, lien filing fees that are set by other entities and bodies, as well as just the additional court costs associated with some of these cases as well. So it's duly noted that this is just literally the cost of doing business to help people take care of their properties.
That is fair.
Okay. Any further questions or discussion on these resolutions? Again, as noted, there will be a public hearing at the next Board of Works meeting before the board actually takes any action on these. Okay. I'm not aware of any other items under ordinance enforcement for today's agenda. We do have one miscellaneous event, so we've got Basin for a Cause back with us. We'll invite you to step up to the podium. For board members' sake, this is just a courtesy. This is not something that actually requires board authorization, but this event's been going on last several years in the community. It's been run very well, and go ahead and just reintroduce yourself to the board and give us an update on what you're planning for this year.
Hello, my name's Andrew Stoltz. Hosting Basin for a Cause 2025 at the fairgrounds again. This year, like last year, we're doing a charitable event, and last year we obviously did the Huntington County Humane Society. We raised over 1,000 pounds of food, litter, over 600 tennis balls for the animals to play with. We also raised like a couple $100 on top of all that. This year, our goal is to, and it's already set in stone, have a Huntington County United Against Overdose as our beneficial this year. The goal is to raise money for them to help the halfway houses here that are local, help with getting pay for transportation for these people that are in these halfway houses that need to get to meetings that are like in Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, and whatever discussed, and just money to help out, get everybody back on their feet that have fallen on these hard times that have been with addiction. So this year we're going to have 3 competition organizations. We're going to have everything for the audio competition part set up in the gravel lot, which is outside of city limits at the fairgrounds. Within the city limits, we're only going to have a quiet car show, and under the H barn that we have rented out, we're going to have vendors. We're also going to have food vendors as well, and things along those lines.
And the date and time again?
August 9th, and we're going to be shooting for 10 a.m. up until 6 p.m., possibly the latest.
Any questions by board members?
What was the name of the organization again?
Basin for a Cause.
Oh, Basin.
Yeah, BASSIN
Right.
apostrophe.
And then you're raising money for,
Huntington United Against Overdose.
thank you.
For those board members who want to make the time to come out and enjoy the competition, it's pretty remarkable what competitors have done in investing in their equipment. And if you've got any fillings you need removed, and they'll help you with it. That was quite impressive last year. So, but again, Andrew, we thank you for doing what you're doing and using one of your passions to raise funds for good nonprofits and causes in our community. So appreciate the courtesy, notice, and update, and we wish you the best with it.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is accounts payable. Is there a motion to authorize payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? We'll call the question in favor of authorizing payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Have a good week.